Mic test. Mic. Bam. What's up, Magic friends? Welcome back. So I got an excellent question from our buddy Tyler. He asked me my take on custom cards and what I use to perform, and I think that's actually a great question. So Tyler, thanks for asking. So first and foremost, no matter what deck you choose to use, that's not going to enhance your magic. What's going to enhance your magic is you being flippin' awesome at what you do and having a great personality and connecting with your audience, right? So it doesn't matter what deck you use. While decks are awesome, they're not gonna be the distinguishing factor whether your magic succeeds or not. It's gonna be you. Okay, so back to the cards. So here's a phenomenal distinction between a regular pack of cards and a custom deck. This is a Bicyle deck of cards, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's a little warped. So I've only had this deck for about 2 weeks, and the cards are definitely clumpy, they're warped, and they wouldn't be good for performing. I wouldn't be able to do some of the moves that I need to do with this deck. And part of that is because I live in Florida, it's high humidity, it does not treat cards very well. If you're performing outside in the summer, you're gonna need many decks of cards. So for comparison, this is a custom deck of cards from Illusionist, the Ghost deck, and I've had this for about 3 to 4 years, somewhere between there. This fans like a darn champ. I mean, it just handles well. They're smooth, I can still do the moves that I need to do, and I perform with this deck quite a bit. I think at the time when I bought this, it was around $6.50 or $7. And for that amount of money, to have a deck that's lasted me for this long, for the amount of performances that I've had with this, it's just incredible. And I think it certainly beats this deck of cards that I've had for about 2 weeks. However, with that being said, I typically tend to use regular decks of cards. In fact, I buy them like this for $15.48 at Sam's Club, and I get 12 decks of cards, 6 blue, 6 red, and that works for me very well. Now, I'm not the type of magician that's gonna say you should only be performing with a regular, standard red or blue deck of cards. I don't believe that. I perform with the black deck, I perform with the Ghost deck quite a bit because I love this deck, and the reactions that I typically get when I use them are, that's a really cool deck of cards, because it is. The majority of people do not see cards like this. So whether you choose to use a regular deck or a custom deck, I don't think it's gonna harm your magic. I really don't. You're gonna have to perform and figure that out for yourself. Just know that a custom deck is probably gonna last you a little bit longer. It's gonna certainly look cool. A regular deck of cards is probably gonna wear out faster if you're performing a lot, but it's cheaper, so gotta weigh out your decks. Another thing, if you wanna have playing cards just for yourself, go for it. I have a lot of custom cards that I don't use to perform, and I've never shown anybody. They're just for me. I like looking at them, I like playing with them, manipulating them, and I think that's perfectly fine too. If you want to have a deck that you perform with on certain occasions, that's fine too. You know, do whatever works for you. You know, it's just about being creative. For me, I use the Ghost deck a lot during Halloween. I mean, it fits so many of the magical themes that I do, and it works perfectly for that. So, you know, figure out what works for you. So not to be totally misleading, but while I tend to use these cards for practice, I actually use another deck of bicycles to perform. And let me show you what they are. So they are these, and I am absolutely in love with them. I'm in love with the back design. They actually have a bicycle back there. I'll show you an up close in a second. But again, it's a great deck of cards. I love the way it feels, I love the way it looks, and I've been using these solely for performances. And I'll give you the specs on them and where I get them from. But let me give you an up-close shot as I open one up for you. Stay there. So check it out, the Russell and Morgan Company Bicyle playing cards. They just have an awesome design. I love the way they look, very old school. So let's open them up. I'll show you what they look like. Ditch him. Ditch him. I don't know what that was. So they're very old school. So they have an old look about them, and I think that's why I like them so much. So to recap, this is one of my favorite decks to perform. with. It's the Russell & Morgan Bicyle deck of cards, and I've only been able to find them at Walgreens. So again, it doesn't matter what deck of cards you choose to use, just get out there and be great at the magic tricks that you perform and learn how to connect with human beings. That's what's going to distinguish you from everybody else. So I'm very curious. Let me know your favorite deck of cards to perform with below, and also your favorite deck of cards, period. Thanks so much for watching. Stay ever conjuring. Peace.